So hi, I'm back at Mikulčice. Mikulčice is just remarkably peaceful and beautiful. And to get here this morning I had to drive through the area that was impacted by the tornado a week or so ago here in southern Moravia. And let me tell you, it was a total devastation zone of considerable extent. Houses down, roofs off, trees basically broken off about 3 meters up. Total and utter devastation. Lots of police, fire engines. They're engaged in cleaning up, tidying up, putting on new roofs and trying the best they can to recover, which means, rather strangely, that there's nobody here. Because to get here you have to pass through that area, and I don't know that many people can either be bothered or maybe they feel like you can't. So I'm here. It's a beautiful day. Sunshine, breeze, not too warm, and I'm trying to figure out where all these energy lines go, because when I got back after last time I couldn't make head nor tail of it, and I realized I was missing a great deal of information. So I've come back and I'm going to spend the entire day and do a complete reconnaissance of the site. I'll take a few videos as I go, but there does seem to be 4 or 5 energy lines running sort of east-west. There's one perhaps running sort of perpendicular to that. I'm not sure yet, there may be 2. And certainly it's very complicated. But I'm having fun. It's my holiday. This is what I do for a lark. Cheers. There she is. There's the line going into the church. See? Yep, and gone. So one of my viewers said they never saw me dowsing. It's a bit difficult without someone to help me, but I'm going to walk along this path, and in the next 100 meters we're going to pass 5 different energy lines, and I'll point them out to you with using one dowsing rod. Here we go. Damp it down a little bit with my thumb. One. 2. 3. 4. And 5. See? Amazing, huh? So the dowsing rods that I use are very lightweight, copper and brass. And you can see they swing freely. So sometimes I damp it down just a little bit with the thumb there. Just damp it down, especially when it's windy. But they work pretty effectively, and it's pretty difficult to make it move. It moves by itself. I mean, seriously, maybe my subconscious movement does that, but it's really hard to make a move because I'm not actually holding the rod. I'm holding like an outer envelope, and it's free to move, look. So it moves by itself. And I can tell you that I get very consistent results. Not only that, but I introduced a friend of mine to dowsing, and he gets the same, more or less the same result as well. So definitely there's something really going on, and the more I do this, the more fascinating it becomes, and the more it leads me to places like this. It's just, I mean, what a fabulous hobby that takes you to places like this. Unbelievable. So I'm here at, forget the church number now, but it's the one you can see behind me. It's a round rotunda, and some distance away from the main site. It's also an energy centre. There's no lines passing through it, not that I can detect anyway, but in the middle there's definitely an energy vortex, and the energy vortex has four sort of lines coming out of it, or 4 lines of energy, but I don't know how to describe it really, and they seem to form like clover leaves. And this is the one where the internal design mimics the shape of the energy centre. Now, let me ask you again, how did people in 800, 900 know to build a rotunda church shaped like an energy centre of an energy centre in the middle of a forest? I don't get it. I don't. Do you? Answers on a postcard, please. So another question is, why do 2,000, 3,000 people need 12 churches within the space of a few hectares? So for example, see, church 1 and 2, and also just over in the distance behind the big tree is yet another rotunda. 3 churches within, I don't know, 20 meters of each other. Why? Except that they're all on energy lines, different lines. So maybe that's got something to do with it.
Is it too much to wonder? I'll be
Yeah, well, I got a nice smile on my face because I think I've cracked the mystery of the energy lines of Mikulčice. Took a lot of walking and a lot of messing around, but I've got it. And let me tell you something. How is it that a community in 800, 900 could build 11 churches and every single one of them aligned on energy lines? I ask you, how can that be? How can they have then built a cathedral, the biggest structure here, on the crossing of 3 energy lines? Did they know something we don't? I can't answer that question, but well, maybe I can. I think they did. I'm sat here at Church 10, which is where I started the last video that I made of Mikulčice, having forgotten to remove my gum. Haven't made that mistake this time. And there are actually 6 energy lines crossing the main site. One of those, just before the cathedral takes a bend to the south, and so there's only 5 on the other side, and one of the other energy lines crosses over 2 of the others, which is why it's a bit bloody confusing, quite frankly. And then to add insult to injury, if you go north of the main site, you find yet another energy line, and if you go south, you find yet another, pretty much off the main site. So it's quite complicated, but it all works out. And yeah, I feel pretty good actually, having done that, really do. So now I'm going to make a few short videos this afternoon, after I've had a bite to eat, and sort of try to give you a bit more of a view of this beautiful place. I tell you, I think I lived here in a past life. I really do. I just completely love it here. I feel at home. I really do feel at home. Beautiful. One of the outlying churches, oriented east-west, 90 degrees exactly. And I just found the energy line running through it way over there in the distance, so I can track it, and also behind me. Well, I've walked over 10 kilometers. It's a hot day. I'm out of water. There's no food or drink here being sold because it's basically closed, because I guess the people who work here are busy reconstructing their homes after the tornado. There's really nobody but me and the odd cyclist, and I'm thirsty because I just drank my last warm water. So I'm going to call it quits, but I think I've solved most of the equation here, and at the end of this video I'll show you the map with the energy lines. Then that's one building block in a bigger puzzle, which is this part of the Czech Republic and where those energy lines run. Cheers.